Come then, my lovely one, come. All God's desire for man is in this pressing call of the bridegroom, a repeated call. Come then, come, with the tenderest words of love, my lovely one. Love and loveliness, loveliness and beloved, so beautiful because she is loved. All God's desire for man is in this pressing call of the bridegroom to come to him. Always the one to initiate that we love because God first loved us. And this call, it's almost like he wants us to know this call of the bridegroom, come then, my lovely one, come. That he wants us to hear that echoing in everything that we see, in all that we do, that this is like the call that's echoing around us in the world, right? The beauty of the world around us, the beauty we see in one another, that this is the call of the bridegroom to come to God, to come to him who is love. Apparently, the vigilant bride, who was so good at discerning the successive approaches of her bridegroom, has not yet moved. She is still very languid. She sees, she hears, but how difficult it is to act. Come, come, says the imploring voice of the bridegroom, the same voice that will order the son of the widow to tear himself from the sleep of death. I tell you to get up. However, the bridegroom does not force himself on her. He does not want to compel. Come, he says, come of your own will, not with regrets and out of necessity, but on your own. This is an invitation, not an order. I think that also is a really important line, and it always reminds me of one of my favorites. St. Francis de Sales calls Jesus the perfect gentleman. And I think we see that over and over in the Song of Songs as we come to know the bridegroom, that his love for us is full of respect for us. It's a reverent love, that he does not force himself, even though he knows that he is the healing that we're seeking, that he is the only one who can satisfy the ache and longing in us. He won't force that on us. He won't force his love and healing on us. We have to choose him. He invites us over and over again to come to him, to open, right? Later in the song, we'll hear him say, open to me, my love. But he doesn't force his way in, but he's always inviting us. And so I think that became a really important part of my daily prayer. And it's a part that I just hold to. First thing in the morning, I open to the bridegroom, literally. When I stretch my shoulders out in the morning and I do my morning little stretch in bed, I open and I tell him, I am opening my whole self to you again today, every day, because he doesn't say, well, you opened to me last week, so now you got to let me in again today. Every day he knocks quietly again. Every day he says, will you open to me today? And so first thing in the morning, I open to him. I tell him, I'm ready. I'm open. Shower me with all the graces and love you want to. I want it all.
That's so the opposite of any like trauma or abuse or violation that you've had in the past from, and I say you, like all of us.
Yeah.
Just so the opposite, because I actually started and wrote it in a different highlighter because, he waits for us at our own pace. I mean, that's amazing.
Right. And that's the whole, if you notice, the first poem and the second one end the same way, with him saying, not to rouse my love until she pleases. In different translations, the it is she and my love. So we know that he's talking about the bride, and he's telling the daughters of Jerusalem not to wake her. And what he's saying is that whether she's awake or asleep, spiritually awake or spiritually asleep, whether she's closed to me or she's open to me, I am here with her. I am loving her, and I'm not going to wake her. I'm not going to wake her until she's ready, And so he knows our hearts. He knows our readiness better than we do. And he doesn't force. He never forces himself. He never violates. he knows what a gift our free will is, right? He gave us that gift and he wants us to use that gift of free will to choose him, to choose to enter more deeply into relationship with him. If he forced us, it's not love, right? Like I used to tell my abusive husband all the time. Like, if you would just wait, if you would just ask for me to give myself to you, I would willingly give myself to you, but you're always taking from me. You don't even give me the chance to be a gift to you. You just take. And Jesus won't do that. You know, it's not love if it's forced. If you're manipulated into giving yourself to someone, that's not love. And the bridegroom doesn't want that. He wants us to love him and to know him as love.
That's life-changing, that he still wants us in our unworthiness. Because I always thought I had to like be perfect and do all the prayers right and go to mass every day and do everything. And if I wasn't doing that, then God didn't want me. But really, he's sitting there waiting the whole time and still wants me in all my imperfections. I mean, that is really life-changing.
Today is the anniversary of him healing my chronic pelvic floor and my PTSD and depression and everything. And so last night I was going over some of my writings about it, and I found one of my other first blogs that I wrote. I think I called it Incomprehensible Truth, but it was about just that, Ashley. When I realized that he's been there waiting for me all this time, like he didn't turn his back to me saying, well, when you're perfect, then you can come and approach me. Like, he's been right there waiting for me to realize that he loves me. He's loved me always. And so that it was life-changing. It was life-changing to realize that, you know, he knows, and we forget, we're the ones who forget. He knows that he's our savior. He's our healer, that we need him most in those moments of imperfection, those moments of messing up again, those moments of woundedness and brokenness. That's when we need him the most, right? That's when he really desires for us to come running to him, because he knows he's the one who can heal that. He's the one who can comfort us. And yet we think we have to wait till we figure all that out ourselves, till we heal ourselves. And really that takes us into the sin of pride and the sin of self-reliance, and forgetting that we're not the savior. He is. The bridegroom is. And so we need to come to him. And Father Michael really helped me. He gave me this image, because even as the Lord did so much healing in me, it would still, then when I would notice that there was another, like, there's the same sin or the same impatience in me, or the same way I talk to this one kid, the same way with this snarky tone all the time. Like, why do I do that? I want to stop doing that. And I'd beat myself up, and I would start that conversation with myself and with the enemy. See, you'll never be any better. You'll never get over this. You're a hypocrite for thinking you're healed. You're not healed, right? And I would then go to confession, and Father would say, you're doing it again. You're talking to yourself and the enemy instead of going to the one who can heal you, the one who can help you grow in virtue. Instead of turning to him and saying, look, I found another dark piece of my heart. I found another broken place in me, and I want you to have all of me. I want my whole heart to be yours. So I'm giving you this dark, broken piece too. Heal it, make it whole. And that has been really, that's changed even like my self-talk that Dee talks a lot about, like in coaching and her Coach Me videos, how we talk to ourselves, and learning that a lot of the times when I'm talking to myself, I'm actually engaging with the enemy, that it's the enemy who feeds that negative talk and that self-bashing and criticism, that's where he wants to keep me. The Lord wants me to say, I need your merciful love. Every day, I need your merciful love. Look, I found another place in me that needs you. Yay, you can come in here too, right? Like, there's more. I have more need of you, which means I can love you more and you can love me more. This is another place where we can be together, is in that brokenness, and to see it as a positive instead of a reason to beat myself up. Like, this is the reality of our fallen condition, right? This is the reality of our fallen, broken humanity. And it says that in the cantata over and over again, that the bridegroom has no delusions about his bride. He knows who she is. He knows how much she needs him. He knows how inconstant her heart is, how one moment she's all for him and the next she doesn't want to get up and open the door, right? He knows this about her, and he still loves her. And through the whole song, He never speaks a single word of reproach, not a single word of discipline, of disappointment. Every word he speaks of his bride is about her beauty, about how much she captivates him, how much he loves her and wants to be with her. And it's not because he's love bombing her or gaslighting her or manipulating her. It's truth. He can only speak truth. It's because he sees our inherent beauty. It's really important to me. Like, I really feel that because I lived in that for so long. Like that's just a message that I want to speak whenever it comes up, that the bridegroom is incomparable. He's not like the men in our lives. He's just not, or even like the other women. You know, women can be very competitive and negative about each other too. And he's not like anyone we know. His love is so pure and so true.